Okay, taking some more look at sweep picking technique. We've touched upon mixing different techniques now, so we've done some sweeping, that B minor arpeggio, but the ascending version being string skipped. So just as a recap, so that kind of idea. Now what I want to do, which I've done with the sort of more beginner intermediate arpeggios, is try and make some sort of musical chord progression that you can practice that can really get to grips with changing with sweeping. What I mean by that is not kind of breaking up down, you know, you're breaking up your patterns so you really get used to the technique of sweeping. I'm going to move this up into E minor. So that same arpeggio, but just up on the 19th fret of the high E string. Up there, and so we've got 19 and then 15 on the high E string, 17 on the B, 16 on the G, 17 on the D, and then 19 on the A. So that's your arpeggio coming down. And then going up, you've got 15 and then 19 on the A, 16, 17 G, and then 15 and 19 on the high E. Basically, some of these arpeggios, they look like patterns to me in my head. This is kind of going off on a bit of a tangent, but I feel like some of this stuff is important because some of you might actually think, oh yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Especially arpeggios like that. They end up kind of looking like, they kind of go in like that and then out. So it looks like two triangles that kind of meet in the point in the middle. Or it could be like one of those Diablo things that jugglers use, you know, those kind of things that are thin in the middle and they're wide on the outside. If you turned it up like that, the arpeggio would kind of look like that, kind of wide, thin, and then wide again, that sort of thing. So in my mind, some of these arpeggios ideas, not just to do with arpeggios and that, you know, there might be some picking or there might be some tapping patterns as well. All of these sort of things conjure up images in my mind of different things that are probably un-guitar related, but that actually relate to, you know, doing certain techniques. Okay, so, you know, that pattern idea is just something that sticks into my head. Anyway, moving on to the lesson. So you've got that, but what I want to do is try and make a musical example. So the first part is going to be this. Okay, so we're going to be going down that arpeggio, up the string skip, and then sliding from the 15th fret to the 14th fret of the high E string, and then we're going to play this diminished pattern. So we're going to have. Okay, so when we get up to the 15th fret of the high E string, it's going to slide down to the 14th fret of the high E. Then we're going to play this diminished pattern. Okay, so that's 17, 14 high E, 16 on the B, 17, 14 on the G. Then slide up to the 17th fret on the G string. Then play that diminished shape again, but 3 frets up. So far we should have this at a slow tempo. Then to end it, we're going to have this lick. Okay, so that's 19 to 15 on the high E string, 17 on the B, then 17 on the high E string. Then start the pattern all over again. So at a slow tempo, you should have this. And up to speed. Okay, another way of being able to make that slightly more musical is to add in C major and then D major arpeggios as well, that are going to look like this. Okay, so let's see how that sounds on the end. Okay, and let's try that up to speed. Okay, so as you can see, you know, you can try and make musical examples out of doing stuff, even when it's really technical, and you know, try and incorporate different ideas. Especially in this case, we're doing sweep picking and string skipping, and try and get this into your own playing, or practice to a metronome or drum machine, and try and keep it nice and clean and tidy when playing this stuff.